The gospel today is from Mark's gospel, the 13th chapter, beginning at the 24th verse. Jesus said, "But in those days after that suffering, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, and the stars will be falling from heaven, and the powers in the heavens will be shaken. And then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with great power and glory. And then he will send out the angels and gather his elect from the four winds, and from the ends of the earth to the ends of heaven. From the fig tree, learn its lesson. As soon as its branch becomes tender and puts forth its leaves, you know that summer is near. So also when you see these things taking place, you know that he is near, at the very gates. Truly I tell you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have taken place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. But about that day or hour no one knows, neither the angels in heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. Beware, keep alert, for you do not know when the time will come. It is like a man going on a journey, when he leaves home and puts his slaves in charge, each with his work, and commands the doorkeeper to be on watch. Therefore keep awake, for you do not know when the master of the house will come, in the evening, at midnight, or at cockcrow, or at dawn, or else he may find you asleep when he comes suddenly. And what I say to you, I say to all, keep awake." In my quest as a preacher, you know, you're always looking for some way to, especially in the holiday season, to begin with something that's a bit different. I think I've told you before that essentially, if you add up all the sermons that a preacher writes in a year, it's the equivalent of a novel. And I'm always worried that I'm going to be stale or something. You're going to say, well, you know, Tim had a bad day today or something, and I'm sure you've said that. But so today, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, getting ready for today for Advent, I found a wonderful book, and it's the worst case scenario survival guide for the holidays. And I thought, this is perfect. Now all I have to do is find scripture passages that fit. But God, in his good grace, gives me the passages without me even asking. So the thing that I picked today, I thought was going to be, you know, a little bit humorous until the news this week. And let me tell you, the title of this chapter was How to Evade a Stampede of Shoppers. Most of you heard what happened at Walmart this week, and the doors were open for some fantastic sale, and a person was killed in this stampede, if you didn't hear this story. It's unbelievable how stupid we human beings can be sometimes, isn't it? Just, it's so shocking and awful. But at any rate, I'm going to go ahead with this and look at it from a different point of view, I hope. And the survival guide gives us some key elements to our shopping this year. One of them was to stay focused and visualize your goal. Reacting early and decisively in crowds offers your best shot at survival. I don't know if any of you have finished your Christmas shopping yet. If you have, God bless you, and don't tell me about it. Another hint is avoid the herd mentality. Avoid the temptation to join the herd. You cannot shop if you cannot see the merchandise. Another one is do not move toward the oncoming herd. You risk being trampled if you try to thread your way through a stampede. If you are unable to get out of the way of a fast-moving crowd, bring your arms in tightly around your packages that you're carrying, turn your body in the direction of the crowd, and let yourself be carried along. I don't know if any of you have ever had that experience, but I find that a little bit hard to recommend. Another one is maximize your movement options. What they're saying is that if you move towards the walls, nobody walks along the walls. So you got to look around and move in other directions. And the last one, be aware. When heading into a shopping situation where crowds may be present, wear proper shoes. Open-toed shoes offer minimal protection for your feet, and high heels will restrict your mobility. Select shoes with flat heels. Rubber soles provide better traction. Makes sense, huh? Well, before this tragedy, and even before this tragedy, I was thinking that life sometimes seems like a stampede, doesn't it? In the sense that it moves so fast. And sometimes it's like a stampede because things move just past us. We didn't even catch what had happened, or something gets upon us before we even know, or we get surprises in our lives, and now life takes an entirely different turn. I'm thinking specifically about Jessica and her life now. This was not the holiday news that she had expected, and now she's got to take a different track. And sometimes, quite frankly, life runs over us, doesn't it? Something happens that causes us to think that life has gone bad all of a sudden. And the holidays, as you well know, but I reinforce to you, the holidays are especially charged for us because holidays are reference points. Holidays are the way that you and I measure life in many respects. We talk about last Christmas or our best Christmas or the Christmas past that has so many warm memories for various reasons. Most important memories I attach to the holidays. I have always, at Christmas time, had very strong memories of my father. And I thought the other day that this coming Christmas will be the 40th Christmas since my father died. 40 years. And yet the memories I have of him are so crisp, but Christmas was his favorite time of the year. He went all out, and so we kids learned to love it just as he did. And some Christmases are the first one. The first Christmas with new babies. You go in the stores now and you see all this baby stuff with baby's first Christmas. And I had to get a size 4 for my new grandson because, you know, he was 9 pounds 3 ounces when he was born. So, but you see those kinds of things. And then there's also the first Christmas after the death of a loved one. A much different experience for us. And some Christmases are met by unemployment, especially in times like this. And there's a financial strain. Even if we have our jobs, we wonder about how this financial crisis is going to work itself out and what effect it's going to have on us. Some folks have been evicted from their homes. As you know, the foreclosures are at an astronomical level, and they're going to continue on for some time. And so what they expected for Christmas is going to be very different. A lot of people are going to remember Christmas 2008 as a very tough Christmas. There are, after all kinds of stampedes, all kinds of crucial events in our lives causing us to think, hopefully, about what is most important, what is real, what is loving in life, what is really precious to us, what fills us with hope. And that's what we hope these holidays will bring to us. So I want to compare the survival guide I read to you to today's gospel. The first thing they said to us was stay focused, visualize your goal. In the gospel I read today in verse 35, it says, Jesus says, therefore keep awake, for you do not know when the master of the house will come. To me, this speaks about distractions. There are so many distractions. And many distractions come to us in forms of expectations that are laid upon us all the time. But what is it, finally, that we are meant to do with our lives without the distractions? What are we meant to do? How are we to live in this life with its stampedes and its disappointments and its also high moments of joy? What are we to treasure in a world where everything we are told is so precious and we ought to have one, or we ought to drive one, or we ought to go to a certain place on vacation? Our own spirit, our own heart, our own soul has to be absorbed enough by God to be able to tell us what is good. Otherwise, we will surely be distracted.